I'm live. Hey, all you fine folks out there. Give it just a moment here because I gotta let some people trickle in here. But yeah, you wait till you see what I got to bring to the equation, to the story of that young man. And yeah, his name's Ocean. That young man that was treated by the feminazis like a not just second but third, fourth class citizen in his own country, right? I'm sure many of you have seen that hashtag Calgary Police. It was trending for basically a day and a half straight. So I'm sure there's lots of Canadians. And that's why I wanted to do this in live stream. I was actually going to sit back and do it in video, just a standalone video, so that I could cut it up, edit up the pieces, make everything look much, much more professional. And of course, it'd be able to cut down in a shorter time frame as well. That's one thing about doing videos. It does make things a little bit more seamless, a little bit more efficient in the usage of your time. But the beautiful thing about live streaming, like what I'm doing now, is I can get the information out to you right now in real time without having to. By the time I did the actual recording of the video, editing, rendering, contributing all the material, then uploading and being in rural New Brunswick, yeah, the upload's that's the major hindrance in terms of getting anything out there these days. Is it takes hours and hours. So by the time I get this information out there, it'll be another day late. And as we all know, people's minds these days, and of course, can you blame them, right? People have short attention spans. And like I said, how can you blame them? There's a gazillion stories coming out every day, right? So it's really hard for even people like myself who spend a tremendous amount of time every day trying to, figure out what's going on in this big old world around us. It's even difficult for people like myself. So I totally understand why a lot of people they just throw their hands up and they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know, right? Information overload, big time. I get it. But like I say, this whole story, the incident, and as you'll see the background story to this, not just Ocean, this young man who was, like I say, that was, well, you've seen what happened. We've all seen the video, and I'm going to play it again. This one's going to be, once again, using the same sources I used in my other live stream. This fine gentleman, was it Facts versus Feelings, the YouTube channel, because he uses the entire video, unlike the unlike the established media that just used a small segment of it, right? Because that's the thing, the established media is scared to give you the truth, right? I'm not. I want you to see the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But anyways, the fact that like I say, the way this young man was treated, and what was he doing? Once again, folks, playing fucking hockey outdoor in Calgary. I mean, how fucking Canadian can you get, right? You don't get any more Canadian other than what? Actually, wasn't the guy was he wearing a Leafs jersey or something? But I'm telling you, he couldn't have been, not as a character. Sorry, my bad. But anyways, either way, like I say, that's the most Canadian story. I mean, what other than him holding what a homemade jar of fucking maple syrup, right? I don't know, with a beaver hanging over his shoulder. I don't know how much more Canadian you get than a young man on the West Coast in wintertime playing hockey. And rightfully so, and good for him and good for everyone else who are out there doing that, because that's the other thing we all understand too, right? Is COVID, it may have more causation in terms of spread in indoor environments, closed spaces, right? But in terms of outdoor spaces, where are you hearing about the massive breakouts under those settings, right? Especially in a skating rink, or people who are obviously very much social distancing. Because did you see the size of that rink and the very few amount of people that were actually there? Like, yeah, come on. It's Canada, first of all, which is a big whole place with a very few amount of people. And I get in some areas we might be all closely congregated, right, in some of the big urban centers, but that's not what we're talking about. It was on a skating rink, an outdoor skate. Anyways, this stuff is so crazy. But hey, I just want to mention real quick here, Dan Boston, thank you, sir, for joining the stream. Love the show. Merry Christmas to you too, sir. And an Alpha Alcove, I broke down yesterday from all this info overload. Yeah, I get you. I hear you. Oh, it's fucking crazy. Hey, it's okay. And even breaking down, that's okay. We've all gone through some trials and tribulations and some difficult times. You're not alone in that area. The main thing, though, is to have the resolve to stand yourself back up and brush it off and keep marching forward, right? That's the key factor, right? Don't let this shit beat you down. I get it. And the minute I've said this in the past too, and once again, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but I will say, because I do this for myself. right, is when you do feel yourself and you notice that you're starting to inundate yourself with too much negativity and you're feeling that in your mind and you're not having any positive aspects and you feel yourself getting depressed, no, that's the time that you need to find something, find some source to bring you out of that. And me, I'm very fortunate because I have family members, I have some close people around me that are that counterbalance for me. And I'm madly appreciative of the fact that I do have that and those people, right, to help me through these difficult times. And I recommend for you, if you don't have anyone in your own personal life, then maybe seek out and try to find someone in some way, right? We can always at least find someone who's willing to lend or bend an ear when we're going through our tough times. And I definitely recommend that. And that's another thing, man. We know how detrimental the reports are coming out. The mental health, those issues were already on a rise long before COVID because of the fucking insanity. COVID is just the latest iteration of central planning insanity and top-down authoritarianism these days. So people are already, why do you think, opioid crisis? Why do you think, up to half of the population or maybe more are all on fucking prescribed drugs, right? And the rest are, shooting it in their arm or fucking smoking doobies or I mean, nothing against all that stuff, right? Or down in it, fighting their, trying to solve the problems in the bottom of the bottle or whatever. I mean, we all know, and that happens for a reason. People are automatically instinctive to try to protect themselves, their psychology, their mindset, right? And they're trying any means at their disposal in order to do so. But once again, you're getting the short-term gain from using some of these substances to help you out. But the long-term, the pain's there every time you come out of your stupor, right? Or come down or become sober once again. So this is the problem. This is the issue. We all have to just recognize and acknowledge it's a long-term thing. We have to be in this fight and be willing to stick to it and be rigid and resolved to say, I'm not going nowhere. I've said this for 10 years at least now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to remain here steadfast and willing to educate and inform as many people who are willing to listen, because I recognize that there's a gap, there's a void out there, and I'm willing to fill it if that's what's needed or necessary. Anyways, Europe for Europeans, what's going on? Actually, that's right too. Why am I not bringing this stuff up? Why am I not putting this on the screen when I know I can? Thank you very much, Europe for Europeans. We won't surrender. Goddamn right, we won't surrender. Fight back. Take all frustration out on the state. But hey, that's a great thing to say. But what is the state, right? There is nothing. The state it's a fictional construct, folks. And we all know this. I mean, you know this. But I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. So I just wanted to use that springboard off of your comment just to kind of help expand to people that there are people, all these people that are dictating, controlling every aspect of your social life, right? I mean, we refer to them that are, people who are employed by the state or part of the state, but they're people. They're all skin, flesh and blood, skin and bone, human beings, just like the rest of us, as far as I know, anyways. It's, not to piss off all the alien crowds out there, but seriously. But the thing is, they're all human. So when we say things like the state, and I use that terminology all the time. So I'm not saying that you're bad or anything, nothing negative about the state. But what it is we do have to, once in a while, have to clarify that the state is filled and comprised of a lot of individuals. And the most uncomfortable part of that reality is a lot of those individuals are people who are members of our family, right? Friends, perhaps even. I don't know why you'd want to have friends that are status, but anyways, whatever. Well, not all status are created equal, right? Or big time proponents of the state. So let's keep that in mind too, because we are all individuals at the end of the day. And as a libertarian, I recognize and acknowledge that fact. But yeah, the people who are part and parcel or who comprise the state, they're human beings, and these human beings have people that they associate with or are family members of or friends of. And you know what? That's the thing. We need to reach out and find those people who are associated with these status and ask, why aren't you having these difficult conversations with these status? Do you not realize how detrimental these people are to all of our liberties, including their own? Right. So anyway, but like I say, the problem is we all recognize they're our own family members for the most part. I know that 100% because I have many of them in my own. Me, though, on the other hand, I'm glad, well, not glad to, but I'm always willing to have these discussions and even make people feel a little bit uncomfortable, because it's vitally important that we make status or people who are, whether through ignorance or just by being authoritarian or sociopathic in nature, the fact that they're willing to impose themselves on us to such a degree. Trying to play nice or just ignoring these people, it's not working, folks. It's not working. That's one thing we can all say for certain. Try to play nice with authoritarian collectivists, or just trying to plead with them. Actually, no one's even really pleading with them much, right? Or just trying to, it's not working, folks. It's not working. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for chiming in there, Europe for Europeans. Yeah, freedom is without a government. Yeah, exactly. Well, government is the pretense that someone has the authority over you to control, to micromanage, to dictate, control, every area aspect of your social and economic life. Statism is a modern form of the master-slave relationship, right? That's literally what it is. Slavery never really ended, right? And if you want to get a little bit more insider knowledge or information that will help clarify that for you, I definitely recommend you check out Larkin Rowe's YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and watch his video called The Jones Plantation. That's an eye-opener, let me tell you, folks. And yeah, make sure you batten down the hatches and got a firm grip on something before you do watch that video, because like I say, a lot of shocking information. All 100% true, folks. 100% true. Anyways, moving on. So like I said, let's get back to this story, folks. So, because yeah, I don't want to not when I got you fine folks in the chat, but I don't want to use up too much time in the stream, because I realize that the longer I go, less chance people are going to watch it. So let me get a little bit further ahead, although I will check out a couple more real quick. Neoliberal paper pushers. Okay, that's not going to help matters. MK, it was the year without a Santa Claus. A year was so sad. It was the year without a Santa Claus. The worst we've ever had. No, that's good. I like it. I like it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to get to this video here. Yeah, let me bring that bad boy up. I know we've all seen it, but, just to refresh our memories, what exactly took place, I'm just going to play another, like I say, clip of that. And this clip, as you see, is going to once again come from the, double check on that again. Yes, facts versus feeling. Right. So this was uploaded December 19th, 2020. Good for him. He's got 2,703 views on it already, and that's awesome. What's with the seventh thumb? Well, whatever. Anyways, Nazis in Calgary just following orders, right? Probably 7 cops in Calgary, maybe. Right? Got a chance to watch this video. Anyways, so here's the video. And like I say, other than unlike the establishment media hacks, who's covered it, CBC, CTV, and I think, was it Global News or whatever? And they're not doing a very good job, I will add. All right, pretty bad. We got to pick up the slack for these fucks that get so much money to basically fail people on a regular and daily basis. But anyways, so like I said, I'm going to play this. It's a 17-minute long video. I definitely recommend, and I'll definitely place a link to it in the description of this video. But there's a couple more incidents that this particular gentleman deals with, and not just the young man Ocean here, but some other individual that's had these 2 feminazis try to bully and intimidate him as well. Anyways, without further ado, like I said, let me just play this real quick.
On the ground! Why are you right here? On the fucking ground!
Where is your swastika? Where is your swastika? Swastika. You guys are acting as Nazis, so where are your proper uniforms?
I cannot say that I am sorry we applied those measures.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
22 Canadians were killed in the deadliest rampage in our country's history. COVID-19 arrived in Canada later than in other countries.
It's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
We have the chance to determine what our country looks like in the weeks and months to come. There is no use and no place for such weapons in Canada. This will be the new normal until a vaccine is developed.
So I'm sure you've already seen circulating around social media is this video of the arrest of a man, a 21-year-old man at West for skating. And we also have, I believe, the same female officers, one or in part or both of them, also harassing Artur Pawlowski a couple of times at his house. So I've compiled both of these videos. No commentary. I'll just leave it up to you to make up your own minds and comment below. And I have the links to both videos down below as well.
told me. I just told you. What? You're going against the health regulations of Alberta. What is it? What's a health regulation? Yeah, guys. So this is the thing. We told you that you're going against the health regulations.
Oh shit.
What is the health regulations?
Just shut up. Let's go. Let's just go.
Hey, let's go.
What's his name?
We're just gonna go.
You're welcome to go, but you might want to help your friend.
Yeah, he's
What's
gonna
his
go.
name?
We're just gonna go. He's gonna go.
It's not a gun. It's a taser, and he's under arrest, and I have the authority to use force to effect an arrest.
We'll just leave it alone.
Okay, what's his name? Okay.
Once again, I kind of touch on this and cover this in my past stream regarding this, but this is the problem with these order followers. Just because some fucking idiot said that here's a gun, here's a badge, here's a taser, and I'm going to give you permission and the so-called arbitrary laws and edicts that I mandate and give you the reason and excuse to go fuck with whoever the hell you want. And hey, you want to use violence? You want to escalate? You want to fuck some people up? Go right ahead. I've given you basically carte blanche excuse and political or so-called legal cover in order to do so. But once again, we all have to remember the Nuremberg trials? Remember that fucking thing, that happened after the Nazi Germany regime and all the bullshit lackeys underneath of Hitler that said, hey, I was just following orders, man. Well, why did you put all these people in the fucking, in those gas chambers and kill all these men, women, and children? Hey, I was just following orders, man. It was the law, right? It was the law. It was the legislation. It was the law of the land. The political master, my, I don't know what, chancellor, whoever the fuck you want to call, whoever your boss, your political master is. And they told me to do so, right? But once again, after the Nuremberg trials, anyone that tries to use the excuse of just following orders, well, once again, you can fucking just point out the Nuremberg trial. Just point out the fact that, so just because someone tells you to do something, that means you can just wipe out your own internal morality or understanding of ethics or just being a human being that actually thinks for yourself. You don't have that excuse anymore. Like I say, after the Nuremberg trial, boom, that excuse went out the window and nobody has the ability to use it anymore. Not legitimately anyways. So any pretense that this woman says, well, I've been given the authority, so just because, even if I told it, hey, I'm going to say you can go kill your neighbor and I give you authority. Are you going to fucking do it? And if you do, once again, you're just a mindless order follower and a fucking sociopath and a detriment to everyone else in society. That's just the truth of the matter, folks.
Let's go. Hush.
No, I didn't. So listen to me.
I heard you say. What are you doing? Yeah, like a videotape. Hey, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why are you guys grabbing me? Like, why are you guys grabbing me? What are you doing? You guys just need to calm.
Hey, orcs.
Notice these names: Orcs, Ocean. Because like I said, there's a lot more to this story, folks. And these little feminazis, I'll tell you, get the right people that are willing to put this story and present it properly. I might not do as great a job, but yeah, this is huge, folks. This is huge.
What are you guys doing? They're trying to get compliance to get this back on.
Hey, peace.
Stop. Just let him go. Let him take off his skates. Come on.
And look at this male cop here just kind of watching how that all unfolds, right?
Like, why are you guys doing this? I haven't done anything wrong. You gave us a warning. We're all
Sending out the two little feminazis. Oh, there's just so much wrong. Just so much wrong with this video, with this incident.
Yeah, this is going on the fucking news for sure.
Damn right it is.
Just for skating on the outdoor rink, okay?
Finish like what? You guys asked them to get off the ice. Keep anyway. You guys asked them to get off the ice.
What are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing?
We're arresting.
For what? For what? For skating on the ice.
For what?
Jeez, okay. Bullshit. Don't tease me. I'll get
Get on the ground! Get on the
You hear that? Don't taser me. I'll get on the ground. So he chose to get on the ground. Obviously, those two officers, those female officers, yeah, they weren't having a very good, weren't doing a very good job in terms of taking the man down, right? Even on skates. Which, once again, putting these women in these positions is not just detrimental for the guy, but like I say, think about what this could have meant if this guy wasn't so restrained, right? And so respectful, right? Or all these other, people that are much higher numbers than even that with that one male officer, or even if you had another two male officers there, they're massively outnumbered. Well, not massively, but they're definitely outnumbered, right? And you know those hockey sticks, right? Skates. A lot of things could have gone wrong here, folks.
Look at this. What kind of fucking life do we live in?
Where's our freedom? Anyways, so like I said, so that's that first video. And thanks once again to the YouTube channel Facts versus Feeling for getting this video out there. Really appreciate having this source to use rather than having to rely on some nostalgia media there, right? Which only put up half of the video, right? Or trying to search down a track who actually recorded the video. So once again, thank you very much for the Facts versus Feeling. And I definitely recommend you folks maybe go check him out and subscribe to his channel if you deem that worthy or not. Anyway, so now the next video. Here's the part where we're going to get to. Actually, let me just check real quick here. Hey, Eva. What's going on, Eva? How you doing? I would like a moment alone with these two. Right on, Eva. You go, girl. That would be impressive. I'd pay the price of admission for that. For sure. Justice Wolf. With vaccines, no one thinks about this. No diagnosis, no help equals no help. Oh, it looks like I got a quick donation there, and I'll check that out real quick there. Truth Sharing Mirrors. So let me scroll down real quick. Thank you very much, Truth Sharing Mirror. Really appreciate that. Best show on YouTube. Have a coffee on me. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, Truth Sharing Mirror, and everything that you do actually to help promote this channel. Really, really, really do appreciate that. Not just the contributions economically, but all that you do. Matter of fact, even all those little times that you're sharing my stuff, that means a tremendous amount to me. And thank you very, very, very much for doing so. Appreciate it. Okay, back up here though, like I say, folks. Where did we get to here? Human commodity. Hey, I got some new peeps here in the stream today. I haven't seen these names before. Actually, quite a few of them are quite new. So really glad to see that I got some new peeps who have joined the stream today. And thank you, Human Commodity. Right, I get that. Communism is the real virus. COVID-19 is how it spreads. Yeah, right. Exactly. Huh? Yep. It sounds about right to me. Okay, Bubs D, neoliberal paper. Oh, ripped. Okay, I remember I read that already earlier. Oh yeah, and MK, great comment. Okay, that was it. With vaccines, no things about no diagnosis equals no help. So I'm just having a little hard time trying to figure out what you were quite saying there. Not 100% on that one. Anyways, but yeah, Eva, I think he's okay. Who's this? I think he's a bylaw officer. Oh, the guy. Oh, yeah, you might be right. You mean the guy standing off the side? Actually, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Right? Because he wouldn't be allowed to. That stuff. Right? He wasn't given that a farm. Apparently, right? But yeah, I think you might be correct on that. Bohika drop short. Yeah, you're probably correct on that. Thanks for clarifying that. Calgary cops have a red stripe. Okay, good. Someone from the West Coast that's helping clarify things. Thank you very much. These cops are goofy. Yeah. That's putting it quite mildly, and I applaud you for putting it that mildly. I'd say a whole lot worse. But anyways, like I say, folks, so let me get to the point here. This was something that someone shared with me on my Canadian Libertarian Facebook page. And that's one thing I will say to you folks. Use Messenger on Facebook, and it's all encrypted. So if you have to, or I also have if you want to check out Canadian Libertarian at protonmail.com, which is another secured encrypted email service, you can always send stuff to me if you want, to send stuff to me that's private or you don't want other people to know about anything like that. Like I say, use an encrypted service. And I would even recommend, just to save the hassle, right? Because I know Facebook Messenger is encrypted, but just to save the hassle and some of the suspicion that we might have in some of these social media platforms is if you use, what did I call that? Oh, Proton Mail. Once again, if you use my Proton Mail email, that I believe that's probably the most secure email that I have currently. So check it out, Canadian Libertarian at protonmail.com. Anyways, but I received this particular video. I mean, it's not like it's top secret or anything, but someone that obviously knew these people and just wanted to give me some inside scoop. And I'm the sad part of it is I actually received this. Was it just before or while I was doing the live stream? It was during the time when I was doing my live stream yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to incorporate it into the live stream, and I felt really, really bad about it. So that's why I'm doing this live stream today, and I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible and tie it up fairly quickly, which is difficult task for me because I tend to talk quite a bit, as you folks probably know. But I thought once I seen this, I said, "Oh, if this isn't shared," and you know what? I recognize I'm completely understand that there's things in areas that I lack, right? I'm a truck driver. I'm a construction guy. I build engines, right? I can do carpentry work. I'm the hands-on kind of guy when it comes to that stuff and the physical labor and stuff like that. But I admit all this stuff that I've been doing in recent years, I'm new. I'm getting better all the time. But I'm definitely, right? There's people who are much, much more superior to me in terms of their competency, in terms of, doing the kind of things that I do and putting it in video form and like documentaries and stuff. Man, I really have a mad amount of appreciation and respect for the people that can, like the storytellers among us, right? And the ones that know how to put all these things together. Like, it's just really good. And it's the sad part of it is it's a lot of the people on the left are the ones that that truly historically and even today dominate in those fields. And they're predominantly our opponents or the opponents of individual liberty these days. So I don't know, but hopefully at least there's somebody out there will be able to do a much better job at even presenting the information that I'm going to present to you today and make this into a much more seamless story, maybe cut up in a much shorter timeline, because I think the messaging behind this whole thing, not just this incident, but the story behind the family and this young man, Ocean, I think this story is so compelling and so Canadian that, yeah, if it's done properly, it can reach everybody in this country and really put things into perspective and hopefully be a great service in terms of getting people to start thinking critically about the state, their mindless enforcers or order followers, and what it is to even be a free human being. So, like I said, without further ado, let me just share this real quick with you, fine folks. And wow, like I say, wow. Here we go. Okay, you ready for this, folks? Some of you might have already seen this. I'm not 100% sure, but I found this to be absolutely phenomenal and amazing. And yes, the Wiesblatt family. Yes, that is, that's who that young man and that other one, Orc. Yeah, they are part of this particular family. So here we go, folks. Oh, shit, I never turned this. But anyways, here we go.
Home Team Heroes, presented by Sobeys, Canada's family grocery store.
Sign language was obviously my first language just because my parents were both deaf. Basically, I just learned how to speak English from TV. I felt like I was always...
I see trees of green.
I see sausage
What
trees.
the hell?
Red roses too. My horse blue.
I see them
Damn ads.
Like a steamboat, and I think to myself, that's a pretty cool world. I see Princess Knight.
Ah,
behind everyone. It was
Very
a pretty tough
inconvenient.
start to life, but I mean, we figured it out.
So as you can see already, folks, if you're paying attention here, that these young men, these young boys, I guess you would call them men at 21 years old. Well, this man at 21 years old, Ocean, he's just one of a family or of a children of one of five children who are, obviously this is the mother, right? And, as you see, this was a presentation put on by Sportsnet and Sobeys. Heroes, right? Canadian heroes, folks. Canadian heroes. It's a great story. It's a great heartfelt story of a deaf family, both mother and father, I guess, who were both deaf, raising five, sons and daughters in that kind of environment. Which, obviously, if you think about it, that's difficult all on its own. But there's that positive side. So it was, there's some hardship, there's some rough times, so there's some difficult times. Early on for these young boys and girls, right? And with their family and their mom and dad. But, they turn that into positivity, right? And these young boys, especially these two, apparently this Ocean and Orc, his brother, really turn their spirits on to the great Canadian, pastime and sport of hockey. And they were striving to attain and achieve success. And it looks like they were well on their way and doing so, right? So this is just such a heartfelt, compelling story of the typical Canadian. I just couldn't help but think, how could you not bring and include this into covering this particular incident, this story? And so far as I know, no one in the established media. And these people on the left, these are the people that are really good at telling stories. You know damn well what they could do with a story like this, and they do a much superior job. Once again, I'll acknowledge, right? But they've been trained for it. That's their thing, right? They would probably be able to do a much better job than I could. And like I said, I'm hoping somebody else will come up here, step up the plate, and do a better job. Because what it is I look out there, folks, and when I realize there's a void somewhere, it's like, well, can I fill that somehow? And if I can, I'll step up the plate and I'll do my best. But sometimes my best just isn't enough. And I recognize and acknowledge this. I can't be the best at everything. I have some things, some niches I'm really, really good at. Some things I'm okay, and other things I don't know, just not that good at, right? But anyways, like I say, I found this story massively compelling, and to find out this background and this history and how it's related to this whole incident and just the Canadian story itself. Like I say, I'm just going to play a little bit more of this video clip because, like I said, I think it's very, very, very touching, and it should actually help in some way to maybe reach out and maybe tug at some of the heartstrings of some of those authoritarian leftists, or those who follow along or align with authoritarian leftists, and maybe see some of the errors in their ways.
Working multiple jobs and giving up everything she had. It's kind of hard to explain what she did for all of us. I remember my little brother Ozzy telling me a story about some coach who was making fun of our mom came off the ice and he was super upset.
At a young age, I mean, you're pretty sensitive, and you're not really, you don't really know how to cope with so-called bullying. My brothers were a great way for me to kind of cope with it because they were going through the same thing. I think that's why our family's
So here's another very important aspect of the story, right? So these young men, you know, they were already bullied, you know, and nothing to have to do with COVID, obviously, but they've already suffered this kind of intimidation and bullying, and how people can turn towards the collective or the group and gang up on the individuals or people that they perceive who are different than them, right? I mean, this is the thing that stands out to me, that'd be the most important aspect of, just because you find yourself aligned with a big clique, and even if you're in a line with a clique that's a larger number, a majority than your peers or your counterparts or your opponents, does that mean you're right? Does that mean you have the right authority, or it's even proper to bully and intimidate others who are in positions who are maybe more helpless or defenseless against you, right? That's the fucking problem with bullies, and that's the problem with statism, and that's the problem with authoritarian collectivism, is it literally seeks to deny the individual and to sacrifice the individuals such as this, for some concept of the greater good. But what's the greater good? How has the greater good been served? I would ask, and I ask this every time, and I've yet to hear a goddamn answer from one statist, and how what they deem to be the greater good actually truly is a benefit of the greater good, because that's to suggest that we're all with one mindset, that like we're all the Borg, and we think, act, and perform and have the same ideologies and the same goals and aspirations. That's not the case, not at all. So when you're talking about the greater good, right, and especially when you're talking about sacrificing individuals for the greater good, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm picking some people that I want to thrive and survive in society, and others I want to be canceled or to suffer for not aligning with the collective or their concept of the greater good.
close.
Well, I bet. Yeah. Damn.
My mom couldn't really take care of all of us together just because
this is that young man Ocean right here.
I think she knew we didn't really have a choice. I mean, she tried working as hard as she could every single day to make money, but if we didn't do that, I mean, we probably wouldn't be playing hockey right now.
That's awesome, right? That's such an awesome thing to see. Such an awesome thing to see. That's family for you.
Just
the things that people will do, right?
Who thinks better, work or us? What did she say? She's like, I think they're both.
Orca Wiesblatt has a partial break for Calgary to the Raider, then the shot, he scores!
The second star of the first half of the Raiders is number 19, Ozzy Wiesblatt.
Hey!
And your first start tonight from your Calgary Hitmen, Orca Wiesblatt.
Brother against brother. Right. On friendly terms, of course. That's the beautiful thing about sports or professional sports, is it's competition oriented, but it also brings people closer together. And it has a lot of values instilled within it. Sportsmanship, respect, mutual respect, right?
She just gave up everything. We all say that she's a superhero, and she is.
I think everything we do is for her, and we want to give back to her and thank her for all she's done for us and all the sacrifices she's made for us.
You don't hear a lot of people that have 5 kids in their family, and I mean, 4 of them playing high elite hockey, and she sacrificed everything she did. I mean, she's a hero to us. I'd be a dream come true if one of us made the NHL, obviously.
Anyways, folks, so like I say, I think I'll tie it up there now. Like I say, I just really felt compelled that I had to cover this story. Once I received this video and realized who these people are, their background, their history, and their story, yeah, if you're not incorporating this today as it pertains to that incident, you're failing miserably. And what we'll see today, well, I'm waiting with bated breath to see someone in the established media that's willing to give this story, not just a go, but, make it do a job much more conducive and better than I could ever do, right? And make it really worthwhile. Will that happen? I don't know, folks. Looks like a lot of politics being played today. And doesn't look like it's anything that the established media or anyone within those organizations would be genuinely interested in, because it seems like it would counter, the general narrative that they're all trying to stick to or align with these days, which is a sad thing to hear. Because, like I say, these young, these 5 children of this woman and their background, their story, and the fact that how he was treated and how that's going to play in his mind, think about what that's going to do to his man. He's very ambitious, goal oriented. That might affect him. Imagine if it puts him in a state of a negative psychological effect or mental health. Maybe someday he says, I'm just so fucking stressed out. What happened? I don't even care about playing hockey. Maybe he gets depressed. I mean, things happen, right? Things happen all the time, every day, folks. And what happened to this young man? By these fucking 2 feminazis and their I don't know, whatever this guy was that was standing off the side, but all these people, and over what? Because they were playing hockey in an open arena in Calgary, Alberta, not causing harm, not being a threat to anybody, right? This is the world that we live in. This is the country that we now live in. And all those people among us, listen, I love to throw up the flag and promote my patriotism too, but you know what? I got no real good reason or excuses to do that anymore, folks. And you know what? You can get fucking mad at me if you want. You can call me non-patriotic, patriotic. You can call me whatever fucking names you want. But I got no real good goddamn reason to be patriotic these days, right? Because, the way the state, the way the government of Canada, the way the government of all the provinces of Canada, for the most part, have treated the citizens in this country, what the fuck? Why would I ever show one slight semblance of respect or adherence to these fucking hacks, these authoritarians, these collectivists? I want nothing to do, right, with the country that's being claimed to be called Canada today, or the people who claim to be the mouthpieces or get to control what this country represents, right? That's the thing, folks. I can be proud, not necessarily of a country, but I can be really proud of ideas. And the ideas of liberty are things that I really hold dear and cherish, and we all should. Rightfully so. But I cannot be proud of a country, of a province, of a politician, of anyone that would ever support using authoritarian measures and tactics, what was taking place just the other day against these young men who were just out there trying to do their best to find some semblance of normalcy in this mad world that has completely been turned upside down, inside out, and are causing so much massive civil, economic, and mental strife and hardships for so many people. Like I said, I don't want to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, and neither should you. Anyways, folks, I'm going to go do up a whole bunch more videos, but I just felt that this was absolutely needed and necessary. I did not just cover the story of this incident once again, but a little bit of the backstory and what these fine folks, what this fine family is all about. And I wish them nothing but the best in terms of success and being able to keep their family close knit. And hopefully they'll be able to get over this particular incident and move forward, and maybe help join the rest of us here in the liberty movement and become part and parcel, so that we can, like I say, we have aspirations, we have goals of our own. And the goals that we in the liberty movement have is just stop treating each other, right, with brute force, violence, theft, and coercion. Let's be respectful to each other. Not to say that's ever going to be perfect. That's not ever going to be the way. But can we at least try to make that part of our culture? Right now, the dominant drivers, the influences who are driving our culture are telling us we should divide ourselves. We should hate. We should loathe each other for whether it's our success, our skin color, what's between our legs. Let's get rid of this as the dominating driving influence in our culture. Let's get rid of these fucking authoritarian collectivist hacks who are destroying everything what it is to be free, to be human. And let's get back, or let's advance forward. Let's use their own words against them. Let's progress to a point where we actually truly achieve and attain genuine individual right, freedom, and liberty, not just for one, not just for a few, but for us all. And thanks for all you folks who have joined this stream today. And I'll see you in the next one. This is Canadian Libertarian. And you better believe I goddamn love liberty, and I hope you do too. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holidays.